This evening, Vice President Dr Bharrat Jagdeo dismisses Venezuela's territorial claims as bogus and invalid. We'll have the details on his strong stance. Also, Attorney at Law Nigel Hughes urges the government to establish a human rights commission to address violations of citizens' rights, and he's taking legal action. We'll delve into this important development. In other news, a bank teller and a school teacher are remanded to prison after being accused of stealing money in a fraudulent withdrawal. We'll bring you the latest on this case. Plus, Germany grapples with a financial crisis following a Supreme Court decision on climate change funding. Al Jazeera's correspondent will explain the implications and the finance minister's response. Later, we'll report on the growing frustration in Ukraine as families seek answers about their missing loved ones during the war with Russia. Stay tuned for this international story. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for November 27, 2023. I'm Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Vice President Dr Bharrat Jagdeo has dismissed Venezuela's claims on Ghana's territory and its attempt to invalidate the 1899 arbitral award as bogus and invalid. Speaking at a gathering in Region 2, Dr Jagdeo assured that the government and opposition are united in considering the 1899 arbitral award as a full, final, and perfect settlement of the matter. He reiterated the government's belief in Ghana's strong case and noted that the International Court of Justice has twice affirmed its jurisdiction in the case against Venezuela. The vice president suggested that Venezuela's rejection of the arbitral award may be a political ploy to distract from internal issues, especially with general elections approaching. He highlighted the Venezuelan government's challenges in mobilizing support and speculated that the referendum serves as a diversion from economic hardship and political struggles. Addressing concerns and misinformation, Jagdeo emphasized Ghana's commitment to maintaining a zone of peace and exploring greater defense cooperation with other countries to protect its territorial integrity. He reassured the public that the government is actively working to minimize and address threats while focusing on the country's upliftment. Continuing on our coverage of the Ghana-Venezuela border controversy, Attorney General Anand Nandlal and former Foreign Affairs Minister Karl Greenidge are reassuring Guyanese citizens that if Venezuela violates any order from the International Court of Justice and attempts to annex Ghana's Essequibo County after the December 3, 2023 referendum, it is likely to face sanctions. Nandlal emphasized that not obeying the ICJ's order would violate international law, and the ICJ, being the UN's judicial enforcement agency, can impose sanctions for such violations. According to the UN and the court, Greenidge affirmed Ghana's commitment to international law and stated that Venezuela's referendum does not empower them to act on its outcome. The referendum seeks to authorize Venezuela's government to annex Ghana's resource-rich Essequibo region, but Ghana has sought protective measures from the ICJ. Despite Ghana's action, Venezuela intends to proceed with the referendum. Meanwhile, Attorney at Law Nigel Hughes is urging the government to establish the constitutionally required Human Rights Commission to address violations of citizens' rights. Hughes specifically calls for legal action regarding Vice President Bharrat Jagdeo's derogatory remark towards opposition parliamentarian Mrs. Hughes, referring to her as a quote-unquote lowlife. Hughes plans to compel the government to establish the Human Rights Commission through legal proceedings and seeks an advisory opinion on the International American Commission on Human Rights on the potential harm caused by Jagdeo's statement. He emphasizes the need for the government to request an advisory opinion on whether the statement constitutes psychological harm or a breach of protected rights. Hughes cites Ghana's constitution and the International Convention on the Prevention, Punishment, and Eradication of Violence Against Women to underscore the importance of protecting women's rights and preventing violence. Stick around when we return. Ghana invests in future leaders, 424 students awarded government scholarships, and bank teller and school teacher remanded for alleged fraudulent withdrawal from Republic Bank.
Giving you the best Christmas with Digicel.
Digicel is bringing you the best deals, the best prices, and the best cash prizes. Hold on to your Santa hats because there's up to $50 million in cash to be won. Activate any data plan and you can be one of 14 winners to join Digicel's Spin to Win game show where you can win millions in cash. Activate a data plan today on the best network and make this Christmas the best one yet.
Digicel.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for doing surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home. We also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinate soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, jerk seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Welcome back. On Friday, a bank teller and a school teacher were remanded to prison after they were accused of stealing money from Republic Bank at Linden via a fraudulent withdrawal. The duo, identified as 44-year-old Donna Edwards, a teacher of West Rhymeville, Georgetown, and 19-year-old Tyrell Davis of Wismer, Linden, were charged with fraudulent withdrawal when they appeared at the Linden Magistrates Court. They both pleaded not guilty and were remanded. A third suspect was implicated in the crime but is yet to be apprehended. Edwards and Davis were arrested on November 20th and 22nd respectively, following an investigation by the Criminal Investigations Department ranks. While in custody, Davis reportedly admitted to the crime. He told police he was contacted by a friend who paid him $300,000 to facilitate a fraudulent withdrawal at the Republic Bank Linden branch. The teacher was the one who showed up to withdraw the cash. The duo will return to court on December 4th, 2023. In other news, the government continues to invest significantly in scholarship programs for Guyanese students. Public Service Minister Sonia Parag highlighted this commitment during the orientation ceremony of the 2023-2024 Ministry of Public Services scholarship recipients. Addressing the 424 selected scholars, Minister Parag emphasized that the program aims to empower Guyanese with the necessary skills and qualifications to excel in their chosen fields. Recipients were encouraged to serve the country by utilizing their knowledge. These scholarships, she explained, are an integral part of the government's strategy to develop a highly competent public sector that can effectively contribute to the nation's growth and development. The scholarship recipients will pursue tertiary education at various institutions, including the University of Guyana, School of Agriculture, and Carnegie School of Home Economics. Moving on, in 2023, the Small Business Bureau disbursed nearly $900 million through grants and loans guaranteeing initiatives to support and expand aspiring enterprises. The CEO, Mohammed Ibrahim, announced this achievement at a recent Small Business Awards ceremony, highlighting that over $484 million was disbursed to 21 small business clients through the Loan Guarantee Program, and approximately $300 million in grants would be distributed to over 14,000 small businesses. The Small Business Bureau aims to cultivate the next generation of entrepreneurs through initiatives like the Low Interest Loan Guarantee Program, which collaborates with banks for collateral coverage. Additionally, the Small Business Bureau provided free training programs to over 3,300 registered and potential clients in small business management, financial management, and record keeping. The agency also sponsored 36 clients to participate in local and international exhibitions showcasing their products and services. Don't go away after the break. Israeli captives return home. Hamas hopes to extend 4-day ceasefire. And German budget crisis, spending freeze imposed on all ministries.
Giving you the best Christmas with Digital.
This Christmas, it's all about the best. Digicel is bringing you the best deals, the best prices, and the best cash prizes. Get half off and a whopping 50 gigs of data when you purchase the Samsung A04 for just $14,000, the Samsung A14 for just $29,000, or the Samsung A24 for just $35,000. That's right, half off and 50 gigs of data. It doesn't get any better than this. So why wait? This Christmas, buy nothing but the best. Offer good while stocks last.
Digital.
Sneak in with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Is there a man in your life?
You interested in the man or you interested in me? Look, one of me baby daddy don't pay child support full time. And the other baby daddy, well, he had 3 other baby mother he deal with. And me sugar daddy, he just want to call the sugar only for the weekend. And he only want to give the sugar for the mountain.
It's nothing to laugh about. 14, November 25 and 26 at the National Cultural Center.
Why? When something go learn and get a little sense, buddy, be smart like me. You got to know when to read between the lines. That is bare stupidness, she's saying.
Tickets are $1,500, $2,500, and $3,000. Get your tickets at the Payless Variety Store, the National Cultural Center, and the Giftland Office Max.
Is a catty tell me she was a daddy funeral. So I say, no, I gonna roll up and I gonna meet she and I gonna deal with you right there.
A catty at the funeral?
What you mean? Does he know thing right about now?
Nothing to laugh about. 14.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Germany is grappling with a financial crisis after the Supreme Court struck down climate change funding, leaving a multi-billion-dollar hole in the budget. The finance minister has declared a state of emergency to allow him to borrow enough money to make up for the shortfall. Al Jazeera's Dominic Kane reports.
What few smiles on show here are for the cameras only. Behind closed doors, the mood in the German cabinet is gloomy. The Supreme Court says using unspent money originally borrowed to fight COVID-19 for policies to combat climate change is unconstitutional. And so suddenly there's a large hole in the public purse.
Next week, I will present a supplementary budget for this year. We will ensure that the expenditures, especially for the electricity and gas subsidies, are in accordance with the Constitution. That's why the supplementary budget is necessary. I see it as my job to come clean.
By which he means Germany has to borrow more money urgently. The break on borrowing had been a fundamental part of Lindner's plans. Analysts say his Free Democratic Party is fiscally conservative, unlike its Green and Social Democratic coalition partners.
This is a very pressing issue, and the coalition is talking right now, and they are right now searching for a way out. The problem is they all have promised their voters that they would not cut social benefits and they will not raise taxes. So it's very difficult to find a way out of this for them.
There's also the political aspect to all this. The coalition's popularity is plunging. The main opposition party is celebrating its decision to refer the budget issue to the Supreme Court and is leading in the polls. And there are some in Lindner's party who are openly suggesting a vote on whether they should abandon the current government. As things stand, large spending ministries such as health, education, social security and defence say they won't run out of money in the short term. But what happens next year is unclear. Dominic Kane, Al Jazeera, Berlin.
There's a growing frustration in Ukraine among families whose loved ones have gone missing during the war with Russia. Ukraine says more than 26,000 people, both military personnel and civilians, have disappeared. Al Jazeera's Rob McBride reports.
Valentina was pregnant when her husband went missing just after the start of the war. Now their daughter Elizaveta has turned 1 and has yet to see her father. But Valentina is convinced he is alive after seeing what appeared to be his photo on Russian social media.
I was sure that my husband was in captivity because when we last spoke, he said he would do everything to return to me and our baby.
Along with other families, she attends regular sessions at an organization trying to find out the fate of missing soldiers.
We're working with thousands of relatives of prisoners of war, and it's sometimes very difficult to find an information about such persons.
As the war grinds on, a lack of information about those prisoners and also missing civilians has led to increasing frustration among families.
I think it's a very difficult situation because for a long time we haven't received any information about their loved ones, and such a suspended state affects them a lot. It frustrates them.
The information vacuum has also allowed online fraudsters in Ukraine and Russia to exploit families desperate for news, offering to sell information on prisoners or even claiming to be able to free them. Valentina says she was approached by someone online saying she could pay to have her husband released.
But I turned to Ukrainian authorities and they said it was impossible. If it was really possible, our prisoners would have been home a long time ago.
In the meantime, she can only endure a painful wait for any news. Rob McBride, Al Jazeera, Kyiv.
The captives released by Hamas on day 3 of the ceasefire agreement are now in Israel. After health screening, they were able to finally reunite with their families. Al Jazeera's Sarah Kirat reports.
A heartfelt welcome, signalling the safe return of more Israeli captives back home. They're released by Hamas in Gaza as part of the temporary ceasefire deal that is still holding. Is a big relief for many, especially for Abigail Idan's grandfather.
I couldn't believe it until I saw her. Now I'm a bit more relieved. Not relieved completely because there's happiness mixed with missing her parents, Roy and Hadar.
The 4-year-old is now an orphan after they were killed in the October 7 Hamas attack. Of the 17 captives released on Sunday, 13 of them are from the southern town of Kfar Aza. That's where relatives and neighbours watched local TV, cheering whenever they recognised their own.
I saw Tal and Gal, that are the best friend of my grandson, Yarden. I saw their mother, Chen, Hagar. It was so exciting to see that they look that they are okay.
The feelings are mixed. On one hand, we're so happy about our families coming back, and in the other hand, we're feeling also sad about the people that left behind.
Every day of this fragile ceasefire has played out differently. For the first time, Hamas handed Israeli citizens to the Red Cross inside Gaza City instead of the south. The captives entered Israel from a different crossing too. Meanwhile, 3 Thai nationals and an Israeli Russian were transferred through the usual Rafah crossing to Egypt and on to Israel. With a temporary pause in fighting nearing the end, Hamas says it wants to extend it by releasing more captives. US President Joe Biden says he's working on it, and Israel's war cabinet, which met on Sunday evening, is said to be considering it.
There's a deal that says it is possible to release every day 10 more hostages, and that is welcomed. I told President Biden that by the end of the deal, we are going back full force to achieve our goals. Eliminate Hamas, guarantee that Gaza will not go back to what it was, and of course release all our hostages.
Discharged from hospital, some of those released on the first day have arrived home. A bittersweet moment for many, but one that's giving Israelis hope that others still held in Gaza will soon be released. Sarah Khairat, Al Jazeera, Tel Aviv.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's Safe TV2 Headline News for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.